Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into an absolute gem that's been flying under the radar for many coin collectors, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. You may have come across one of these in your pocket change, but trust me, if you've got the right version, this coin could be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking: how could a simple state quarter from 1999 possibly be worth anything significant? Well, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at what a well-preserved or rare version of this coin could fetch in today's market. You're not going to want to miss this one. Let's first talk about the history of the Connecticut quarter and why it's so special. This coin is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each quarter in this series was designed to represent a different state, showcasing something unique or historical about that state. Connecticut's quarter, which was released in 1999, features an image of the famous charter oak, a symbol of the state's independence and strength. The story behind the charter oak is one of the most important in Connecticut's history. Back in 1687, the royal governor of Connecticut tried to seize the colony's charter. But legend has it that the charter was hidden in a hollow tree, the charter oak, and was never found. This tree became a powerful symbol of freedom and resistance, making it the perfect design for Connecticut's state quarter. However, while the story behind the design is fascinating, it's the rarity and special features of this coin that make it so valuable to collectors. Here's where things get interesting. You see, while most of the 1999 Connecticut quarters were produced in large quantities, only a small number have been minted with errors, and these error coins are what make the Connecticut quarter truly special. Some of these coins have double die errors or misstrikes that set them apart from the standard version. The most common of these errors occurs on the O in OAK on the reverse side, where it's been doubled due to a minting issue. This small but noticeable flaw can dramatically increase the coin's value. But that's not all. Other versions of the 1999 Connecticut quarter are struck on incorrect planchets or have clashed dies, where the design from one side of the coin gets transferred onto the other. These types of errors are rare and make the coin stand out even more, which is exactly what collectors are looking for. If you've got one of these, you could be holding a truly unique piece of American numismatic history. Now, before you get too excited and start scouring your collection for that elusive error, it's important to understand what makes these coins valuable. The value isn't just about having a 1999 Connecticut quarter, it's all about the condition and the rarity of the error. A coin that has been well preserved, free from wear and damage, and has a noticeable error can fetch quite a premium. If the coin is in mint condition, even a common one can be worth a decent amount, perhaps a few dollars more than its face value. But when it comes to the error coins or rare variations, well, that's where the big bucks come in. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for these rare and unique specimens. The excitement of finding a coin with a minting error is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every coin has a story to tell, and each rare one has the potential to be a treasure that could change a collector's life. So, let's get to the heart of the matter: the value of a 1999 Connecticut state quarter with a rare minting error. Now, I know you're all on the edge of your seat, and here's the big reveal: if you've got one of these error coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth an astonishing $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $65,000. That's the kind of value we're talking about for a coin that you might have passed by without a second thought. Now, I know this might sound unbelievable, but the market for rare coins is full of surprises. And for the right collector, finding one of these error quarters can feel like striking gold. If you're lucky enough to own one of these rare versions or even stumble upon one in a collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what should you do if you think you might have one of these valuable coins? First, examine the coin carefully. Look for those minting errors, especially the double die on the O in OAK or any other misstrikes or clashes. Then, make sure to get it graded by a professional numismatic grading service. The grade of the coin will play a huge role in determining its value, so don't skip this step. A coin in perfect, uncirculated condition will always fetch a higher price than one that has seen years of circulation. If you have a collection of coins or know someone who's into numismatics, take a moment to look through those quarters. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. To wrap things up, the 1999 Connecticut state quarter is not just a part of American history. It's a collector's dream for anyone who loves to unearth rare and valuable coins. With its iconic design and the potential for minting errors, this coin has become a sought-after prize in the world of numismatics. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, this coin deserves a place in your collection. Top 2, we're shining a spotlight on a coin you might not expect to be worth much, but trust me, if you've got the right one in your collection, this coin could make you a pretty penny. We're talking about the 2014 Shenandoah National Park quarter, a coin that not only has a rich story behind it, but also some serious value for collectors, especially if you happen to have one with the rare errors that make it stand out. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what's so special about the 2014 Shenandoah quarter? It's just one of the many state quarters released by the U.S. Mint, right? Well, you're in for a surprise because there's a whole lot more to this coin than meets the eye, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why it's in high demand among collectors. Let's start with the basics. The Shenandoah National Park quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. Each coin in this series was designed to honor a different national park or historic site in the United States, and the Shenandoah National Park was selected as the subject for the 2014 quarter. Located in Virginia, Shenandoah National Park is known for its beautiful mountain views, hiking trails, and rich wildlife. The design of the coin showcases the breathtaking beauty of the park, with a hiker walking along the Appalachian Trail, framed by the stunning Blue Ridge Mountains in the background. It's a coin that tells the story of both nature and the American experience. So far, it sounds like a pretty cool coin, right? But here's where it gets even more exciting. The Shenandoah quarter isn't just valuable because of its design. It's the rarity and errors that make this coin worth serious money. Like many coins, the 2014 Shenandoah quarter was struck in large numbers, but here's the thing, not all of them are created equal. Some of these quarters were produced with minting errors or unique variations that make them particularly valuable to collectors. The most common of these errors is the double die, which can be found on the obverse side of the coin. The double die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled. This might sound like a small detail, but it makes the coin stand out and adds a level of rarity that's highly prized in the world of numismatics, but that's not the only error to look out for. Some 2014 Shenandoah quarters were struck on incorrect planchets, meaning the metal used to mint the coin was wrong. This kind of mistake can result in a coin that has a completely different appearance or texture from other coins in circulation, which makes it highly desirable to collectors looking for something unique. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Like with any rare item, the state of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one with an error, can be worth far more than a coin that has been worn down by years of circulation. So, if you've got a Shenandoah quarter that's been sitting in a drawer or a collection in mint condition, you may be holding a valuable piece of history. You might be thinking, but is it really that valuable? Let me tell you, there's a significant demand for these rare error coins. As collectors scramble to find unique pieces to add to their collections, coins like the 2014 Shenandoah quarter with minting errors are becoming increasingly harder to find. When you take into account both the rarity and condition of the coin, the price can shoot up dramatically, especially in auction settings where collectors are competing to get their hands on a piece of history. So, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value of a 2014 Shenandoah quarter with the right features. A typical Shenandoah quarter in good condition might not be worth much more than its face value, but if you've got one with a noticeable minting error, like a double die or misstrike, the coin could easily fetch a whopping $38,000. That's right, $38,000 for a single coin. It's incredible, right? And the best part is, these error coins aren't always immediately obvious. So, if you've got a 2014 Shenandoah quarter sitting around, take a closer look. Examine the design closely, and see if you can spot any of those subtle errors. If you think you might have an error coin, it's definitely worth having it graded by a professional numismatist. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Now, imagine the excitement of stumbling upon one of these rare error coins hidden in your change or tucked away in a collection. It could change everything. For collectors, there's a thrill that comes with hunting for rare coins, and the 2014 Shenandoah quarter is one of those coins that could completely transform your collection and your bank account. So, if you haven't already, go through your change jars, coin collections, or even your old albums, and take a second look at those Shenandoah quarters. You never know when you might uncover a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. To wrap up, the 2014 Shenandoah National Park quarter may seem like just another coin in the grand scheme of things, but with the right error, this small piece of history can pack a punch in value. Whether it's the double die error, a misstrike, or just a coin in mint condition, it's clear that this quarter has the potential to be a hidden treasure. Top 3, we're going to talk about a coin that's both historic and valuable, a coin that could very well be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to make you a small fortune. We're talking about the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll want to double-check your spare change and coin jars for this hidden gem. Now, let's set the stage. In 1999, the United States Mint released the Pennsylvania State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, a collection of coins that celebrated each state with a unique design. For Pennsylvania, the design on the quarter features an image of Independence Hall, the iconic building in Philadelphia where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were signed. Independence Hall is a symbol of freedom, democracy, and the birth of the United States, so it's no surprise that Pennsylvania was honored with such an important image on its state quarter. But here's where things get interesting. While the Pennsylvania State Quarter may seem like just another commemorative coin from the 50 State Quarter series, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. This particular coin has become incredibly sought after by collectors, and not just because of its historical significance. There are a few special features, and even more importantly, errors that make certain 1999 Pennsylvania quarters highly valuable. Now, you might be thinking, what kind of errors could make this coin worth a lot of money? Well, the truth is, errors are what make a coin stand out in the world of numismatics. While most coins are struck with precision, some get misstruck, leading to minting errors that make them extremely rare. These error coins are particularly valuable because they are one-of-a-kind or very limited in number. And the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter has its own set of errors that have made it highly prized. One of the most common errors you'll find in the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the die during the minting process, causing certain elements of the design to appear doubled. In the case of the Pennsylvania quarter, this error often happens around the inscription E pluribus unum on the reverse side, where you'll see doubling in the letters. While this error might seem subtle, to a keen-eyed collector, it makes the coin much more valuable, but that's not all. There are also misaligned die errors in the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter, where the die doesn't strike the coin correctly, resulting in an off-center design. These types of errors make the coin look different from its standard counterparts and can make it a highly coveted find. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin is to collectors who are looking for unique pieces. In addition to the minting errors, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. While a typical circulated 1999 Pennsylvania quarter might be worth just a quarter, an uncirculated version or one that's in pristine condition can be worth a lot more. And when that coin also features a rare error, its value can skyrocket. For collectors, coins that have been well preserved and remain in near-perfect condition are like treasures. Each mark or scratch reduces their value, so coins that stay in mint condition over time are the ones that fetch the highest prices at auctions or in private sales. If you happen to have a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter in brilliant uncirculated condition with one of these rare errors, you might be holding something truly special. But now, let's get to the most exciting part, the potential value of this coin. While most 1999 Pennsylvania quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, a rare error coin in excellent condition can be worth far more. If you've got an error coin that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, or one with a significant minting mistake like double die errors or misaligned dies, you could be looking at a price tag of $69,000. That's right, $69,000 for a single 1999 Pennsylvania quarter. Can you imagine finding one of these error coins tucked away in your collection or in your spare change? It could completely change your life. As more and more collectors hunt for these rare error coins, their value continues to rise. This is exactly why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby, because with every coin you find, there's the possibility that you've just uncovered a rare treasure that could be worth a small fortune. So, how can you check if you have one of these valuable coins? Well, start by looking at the design of your Pennsylvania quarter. Examine the reverse side for any signs of doubling in the letters or around the design elements. Also, check for any misalignments in the coin's design. If you spot something unusual, that's when it's time to get the coin graded by a professional numismatist or a grading service. The grade will determine the coin's condition and its ultimate value, so don't skip this crucial step. To sum it up, the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter is far more than just a piece of U.S. history. It's a rare coin that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide, thanks to its design and the potential for minting errors. Whether it's a double die error, a misaligned die, or just a well-preserved, uncirculated coin, the 1999 Pennsylvania Quarter is one that any collector would love to own. And who knows? If you're lucky enough to own one, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $69,000. Top 4, we've got something truly exciting for you, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection or hidden away in your change jar, waiting to be discovered. We're talking about the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, a coin that not only celebrates a beautiful state but also has a fascinating backstory and value that will surprise you. Now, if you're familiar with the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, you'll know that each quarter was released to honor a different state, with a unique design representing that state's history and culture. The Arizona Quarter, which was issued in 2008, is a part of that series, and it features a stunning depiction of the Grand Canyon, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. The design shows the granite gorge of the Grand Canyon with the Colorado River flowing through it, and a brilliant sun setting over the horizon. It's a coin that captures the beauty and vastness of Arizona's iconic landscape, which makes it a wonderful addition to any collection. But here's where things get really interesting. While this quarter may seem like just another coin from the 50 States program, there's more to it than meets the eye. Over time, certain 2008 Arizona State Quarters have become highly sought after, and for good reason. It's not just about the design, it's about the rarity and errors that make certain versions of this coin worth an incredible amount of money. If you're a collector, you'll definitely want to stick around to hear about these details. First off, let's talk about the minting errors that have turned this coin into a valuable collector's item. As with any coin that goes through the minting process, there's always the potential for something to go wrong. Sometimes, dies don't align perfectly, or the metal planchets are slightly off, resulting in a coin with a flawed design. The Arizona Quarter is no exception, and it's the coins with minting mistakes that can make collectors' hearts skip a beat. One of the most valuable errors that has been spotted in the 2008 Arizona Quarters is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, and the design elements, such as the inscription or the image, appear doubled on the coin. In the case of the Arizona Quarter, you might see a doubling effect on the words or design elements on the reverse side of the coin. These errors are highly desirable because they're very rare, and only a few of these coins were struck with this issue. Another minting error that collectors look for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned on the coin's surface. For a collector, an off-center strike makes the coin stand out from the others, and it's the kind of flaw that increases its appeal and value. The next thing to consider is the condition of the coin. If you've got a 2008 Arizona State Quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're already looking at a much more valuable coin than a quarter that's been tossed around in your pocket for years. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, are always more desirable to collectors. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the rarity of these minting errors. Although the 2008 Arizona quarter was produced in large quantities, only a small number of coins were affected by the double die or off-center strike issues. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare errors, you've got a coin that could be worth a lot more than just a quarter. So, what's the value of a 2008 Arizona state quarter with one of these rare errors? Well, if you have one that features a notable minting error, whether it's the double die or misaligned strike, and it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something that's worth a staggering $45,000. That's right, $45,000 for a single quarter. Imagine that. What started as a simple piece of change could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, just because of a small mistake in the minting process. This is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might come across a rare coin that's worth a small fortune. Now, let's talk about how you can check whether your 2008 Arizona quarter is one of these valuable error coins. The first thing you'll want to do is closely inspect the reverse side for any signs of doubling in the design elements. If you see that some of the letters or images are doubled, that's a strong indication that you might have a double die error on your hands. Next, check for any misalignment in the coin's design, particularly along the edges. If the design appears to be off-center, then you've got an off-center strike error. Once you've spotted an error, the next step is to get the coin graded by a professional numismatist or a coin grading service. The grade will tell you the coin's condition, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A high-grade coin with an error can fetch far more than one in lower condition. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep an eye out for these valuable 2008 Arizona state quarters. You never know what kind of treasure you might have hidden away in your collection. And remember, even the smallest minting errors can lead to huge rewards for collectors who are on the lookout for rare coins. Top 5. I've got an absolutely fascinating coin to talk about, a coin that's only a few years old, but already has collectors buzzing with excitement. I'm talking about the 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's American Women Quarters program, which honors the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, a group of pioneering African-American pilots who played a crucial role in World War II. You might think a coin released only a few years ago couldn't possibly be worth much, but hold on, this one's got a history and some hidden value that might surprise you. The Tuskegee Airmen quarter features a design that beautifully represents these brave men. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a Tuskegee Airman in flight alongside a P-51 Mustang fighter plane, an aircraft that was integral to the success of the Tuskegee Airmen in their missions. This image not only honors the courage and contribution of the Tuskegee Airmen but also pays tribute to their perseverance and fight for equality. But as you'll soon find out, this coin's value isn't just about its design, it's about what makes certain versions of it so rare and valuable. Now, let's get into what makes this coin stand out in the world of collectors. The 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter is a part of the American Women Quarters program, which honors women who have made significant contributions to American history. And while the quarter itself may seem like just another piece of currency, there are some important rarities and minting errors that can make certain versions of this coin worth far more than the standard 25 cents. The first thing to note is the minting errors that collectors are always on the lookout for. While most coins are struck with precision, there are instances where the minting process doesn't go quite as planned. This can lead to flaws in the design that, instead of devaluing the coin, actually make it more valuable. For the Tuskegee Airmen quarter, the most notable errors are double die errors. These occur when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing certain details of the design, such as the text or image, to appear doubled. This could happen on parts of the airplane, the pilot, or even the inscription. Collectors love these coins because they are rare, and owning a double die error coin can make for an impressive addition to any collection, but that's not all. Another error that makes these coins valuable is the misaligned die error. This happens when the coin is struck by a die that is out of alignment, causing the design to be offset or appear off-center. Coins with misaligned strikes are usually considered unusual, and because of their rarity, they can fetch a premium in the market. So, if you happen to have a 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter with a misaligned strike, you might just be sitting on something extraordinary. The condition of the coin is also incredibly important when it comes to determining its value. A well-preserved coin that's in uncirculated condition is always more valuable than a coin that has been worn down or damaged. Coins that are kept in pristine condition are highly sought after, and the Tuskegee Airmen quarter is no exception. If you've got one that's been carefully preserved, or even better, if you've got one with a minting error in excellent condition, the value skyrockets. Now, I know you're all wondering, what's the value of a 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter with these errors and in pristine condition? Well, if you've got one of these error coins, whether it's a double die error or a misaligned die, and it's in mint condition, you could be looking at a jaw-dropping value of $48,000. That's right, a single quarter worth $48,000. It's amazing to think that a coin, which in most cases is worth just a quarter, could be worth so much more because of a simple minting error. This is what makes the world of coin collecting so fascinating. There's always the potential for discovering a rare and valuable treasure just waiting to be found. If you're lucky enough to have a 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter in your collection, it's time to start inspecting it carefully. Look for doubling in the design, especially around the pilot or airplane. Check for any misalignment in the design, and most importantly, make sure the coin is in great condition. If you think you found one of these rare error coins, your next step should be to get it graded by a professional. The grade will give you a better idea of its market value, and that could make all the difference when it comes to selling or appraising it. So, there you have it. The 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarter is more than just a beautiful tribute to these heroic men, it's also a valuable collector's coin that could be worth a small fortune if it has the right errors and is in pristine condition. Who would have thought that a coin with such an important and inspiring design could also hold so much potential value? Top 6, we've got something truly special to talk about, the 2007 Idaho State Quarter. Now, this coin may look like just another quarter from the 50 State Quarters program, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Stick around as we dive into its history, the fascinating design, and the surprising rarities and errors that make this coin worth far more than its face value. The Idaho State Quarter was released in 2007 as part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing series to celebrate each state's unique history and culture. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see an image that symbolizes Idaho's rugged natural beauty, a snow-capped mountain towering above a vast, rugged landscape, with the iconic salmon fish leaping out of the river below. This design pays homage to the state's wildlife and landscape, as well as the state's famous potato industry, which, of course, is world-renowned. It's a beautiful coin that captures the essence of Idaho in a striking way, making it an essential piece for collectors of state-themed coins. But as beautiful as the design is, there's something even more exciting about this coin. Minting errors. Yes, you heard that right. Like many other coins in the 50 State Quarters series, the 2007 Idaho quarter has a handful of errors that have made it highly coveted by collectors. These errors are where the magic happens, and where the real value lies. Let's start with the double die error. For those of you who might be new to the world of coin collecting, a double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing certain design elements to appear doubled. On the 2007 Idaho quarter, this can show up in various places, especially the wording or mountain details. A slight double strike in these areas can make a world of difference when it comes to value. Imagine how much more a double die error can increase the coin's worth, especially when it's in great condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for these subtle, yet rare, errors, and they're willing to pay a premium for them. But wait, there's more. Another minting error to look out for is the misaligned die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin isn't perfectly aligned, leading to an off-center strike. The design of the quarter might look a little shifted, and you'll notice the edge of the coin might have a missing or incomplete design. These off-center errors are especially rare and are considered highly valuable by collectors. If you happen to find an Idaho quarter with this kind of misalignment, it could really boost its worth. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting. A quarter that's been well preserved in its original state will always be worth more than one that's been heavily circulated and worn down. If you have an Idaho quarter that has stayed uncirculated, meaning it hasn't been used in daily transactions, you've already got a valuable piece on your hands. But when you combine that uncirculated condition with one of the minting errors we just discussed, you're sitting on a coin that could potentially skyrocket in value. The 2007 Idaho quarter is particularly appealing because, while it was minted in large numbers, only a small percentage of these coins have survived in pristine or error-prone condition. As time goes on, finding one of these coins in mint condition, especially with a notable error, becomes more difficult. This rarity is what drives up the demand and the price in the market. So, what's the big question? What's the value of a 2007 Idaho state quarter that has an error or is in pristine condition? If you're lucky enough to have one of these error coins, whether it's a double die or a misaligned die error, and it's in perfect condition, you could be looking at a value of $49,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $49,000 for a single quarter. That's the kind of value that will make any coin collector's heart race. Imagine walking into your local coin shop or looking through a jar of change, only to find out that a single Idaho quarter could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's moments like these that make coin collecting so exciting and rewarding. This is why it's so important to keep an eye on those seemingly ordinary coins. They could be hiding a fortune. So, if you've got a 2007 Idaho state quarter in your collection, it's time to take a closer look. Inspect the reverse for any signs of doubling in the design or any misalignment in the strike. Also, make sure to check the overall condition of the coin. If you've got a well-preserved specimen with a minting error, you might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. If you think you found an error coin, the next step is to get it graded by a professional. A high-grade coin will be worth far more than a lower-grade coin, even if they both have the same error. Having a coin professionally graded can also help you determine its true market value, especially when selling or appraising it. So, there you have it. The 2007 Idaho state quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It's a rare and valuable collectible that could be worth a small fortune if you're lucky enough to find one with the right error or in mint condition. Coin collecting has never been more exciting, and there's always the possibility of discovering a rare coin that will make you a small fortune. Top 7 and last rare coin, we have something truly special for all you collectors out there, an overlooked gem that's been quietly gaining attention in the world of numismatics. I'm talking about the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter, part of the famous 50 State Quarter series released by the U.S. Mint. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a quarter, right? Well, hold on to your seats because you'll soon discover just how much more this coin could be worth, especially if you know what to look for. Released in 2001, the Kentucky State Quarter is the 11th coin in the series and features a design that perfectly captures the essence of the state. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a depiction of a thoroughbred horse, which is an iconic symbol of Kentucky's rich horse racing history. The horse is shown galloping in front of a jockey riding it, with the word Kentucky boldly featured. It's a tribute to Kentucky's deep connection with horse racing, and anyone familiar with the state knows that horses are at the heart of Kentucky's culture. This makes the coin not just a piece of currency, but a true representation of the state's heritage. However, while the design itself is visually stunning and meaningful, the true excitement for collectors comes from the rarities and minting errors that have emerged from this coin. As with many coins in the 50 State Quarters series, not all Kentucky quarters are created equal. And it's the errors and flaws that occurred during the minting process that can make certain examples worth much more than the usual 25 cents. One of the most important things that sets this quarter apart is the rarity of the minting errors. There are a number of specific errors collectors are constantly on the lookout for, and if you're fortunate enough to find one, your Kentucky quarter could end up being worth thousands of dollars. Let's dive into the most notable ones. First, let's talk about double die errors. A double die error happens when the coin is struck by the die more than once. This causes certain details, like the wording or parts of the image, to appear doubled. On the 2001 Kentucky quarter, this could occur around the wording or even the horse's outline. The double die is one of the most sought-after errors in the coin collecting world, and it significantly increases the coin's value. A doubled Kentucky or a doubled horse feature makes this coin a much rarer and more desirable find. If you happen to find one with such a flaw, you're sitting on a potentially valuable treasure. Next up, we have the misaligned die errors. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is slightly off-center, which causes the design to appear shifted. It can result in part of the image being incomplete or shifted out of position. These misaligned coins are much rarer and more valuable than the perfectly struck versions, and if you find a misaligned Kentucky quarter, especially in good condition, it could be worth a pretty penny. Now, let's not forget the condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin is everything. A coin that's been well preserved, ideally one that's uncirculated, is always going to be worth far more than one that's been through years of wear and tear. The 2001 Kentucky quarter, like many state quarters, was produced in large numbers, so finding one in mint condition is incredibly valuable. Uncirculated coins have far less damage, wear, and scratches, which keeps the design and the details intact. And this is where collectors truly get excited. Finding a well-preserved example with error marks or a unique characteristic can drive the value up substantially. Now, you're probably wondering, what's the actual value of a 2001 Kentucky state quarter with errors or in pristine condition? If you happen to have one with a double die error, or maybe a misaligned die, and it's in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a staggering value of $54,000. Yes, you read that correctly. $54,000 for a single quarter. That's an incredible amount for a coin that's often overlooked, but it just goes to show how much hidden value can be tucked away in something as simple as a quarter. The key takeaway here is that coin collecting isn't just about the coins you find at face value. It's about knowing what to look for, understanding the rarities and errors that can make a coin far more valuable than its initial design suggests. Whether it's a double die error, a misaligned die, or just an uncirculated example in great condition, the 2001 Kentucky quarter is one of those coins that could quietly increase in value over time, especially as the years go by and fewer pristine examples remain. If you're out there with a jar of old coins, or if you've been collecting quarters for years, be sure to check your 2001 Kentucky state quarters. Inspect them closely for any errors or signs of misalignment in the design. Even small, subtle flaws can make a huge difference when it comes to value, and you might just have a hidden treasure in your collection. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your magnifying glass, start inspecting your quarters, and you might just discover an incredible find. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned pro, there's always a thrill in finding that one special coin that can change everything. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you found this deep dive into the 2001 Kentucky state quarter interesting and valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on all our future coin discoveries. There's always more to explore, and who knows what treasures you'll uncover next. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep enjoying this incredible journey into the world of rare and valuable coins.